Isang mabagyong madaling araw sa ating lahat. Okay, so our lesson for today is, okay, we're going back to the two previous topics, which are yung family of curves and separation of variables. So we're going to solve examples, okay, from your assignments and assignment to be. So may bibigay po kasi sa inyo susunod na assignment for the separation of variables. But for the meantime, hindi ko muna binigay kasi I want you to enjoy this for a couple of days. And timing at bumabagyo ngayon. Kaya that you enjoy na matulog at gawin yung mga dating assignments ninyo. But I'm going to give you assignments maybe on Friday. So, sasagutan na natin yung mga dalawa sa mga assignment ninyo. Okay? So, going back to the examples. So, find or draw and find the differential equation of the family of plane curves described. So, number one problem, okay, differential equation of all parabolas with vertex on the line 2x minus y equals to 0 and with the axis parallel to the y-axis. So in solving this problem, first you must know the figure and also the equation of the parabola. And I hope na ni-review nyo na yan. It's all written in your book, in Integral Calculus book. So hanapin nyo lang yung review of analytic geometry. So nandoon yan. Okay, so may part dito na sinasabi, no, regarding to the vertex kung saan daw naka-inline. Dito daw. Okay, sa 2x minus y is equals to 0. So what does it mean? So if I'm going to rewrite or write this equation to its figure or yung pinaka-graph niya, so may sinabing with the axis parallel to the y. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? It means yung axis of symmetry niya, kasi alam naman natin yung parabola, may symmetrical siya. Kung ano meron sa isa, meron din sa kabila. So, parallel daw sa y-axis. So, if you're going to think of it or imagine of it, pa-letter U siya, smiley face or sad face. Yung pinaka-parabola niya. Okay, but anong gagawin ngayon natin dito doon sa vertex on the line 2x minus y? So if we're going to draw the line, so unang tingin pa lang, masasabi ko na yung line na to ay dadaan sa origin, okay, y. If we're going to recall equation of lines, pag walang constant, okay, line to, no, obviously, kasi yung both x and y, linear, raised to first degree. So pag walang constant ang line, 2x minus y equals 0. So, walang constant. Sure yan, nadadaan niya sa origin. Aside from that, inclined din yan. Y inclined kasi present both x and y. Pag present lang si x, walang y, ang line ay vertical. Kasi ano ba general equation ng line? The general equation of the line, we're going to recall, general equation of line is ax plus by plus c equals to 0. So, by inspection, 2x minus y equals to 0. So, wala siyang constant na c. So, dadaan sa origin yung line. If y or b is 0, it means wala tayong y, mayroon lang tayong ax plus c equals to 0. So, the line is vertical. If A is 0 or we have no value of x, we have only by plus c equals to 0. So the line is horizontal. If both x and y are present, that the line is inclined. So pwedeng inclined to the right, ax plus by plus c equals to 0. Can be inclined to the left or inclined to the right or inclined to the left. So based on the problem, 2x minus y is equal to 0, we can say that this equation of the line is inclined to your right. Paano ko nasabing inclined to the right ng 2x minus y is equals to 0? So pag dinrawing ko daw yan, okay, walang constant, so dadaan sa origin, to the right yan. No? So hindi siya to the left. Okay, bakit? Based on the slope-intercept form, SI form, we have y is equals to mx plus b. So, kung gagayahin daw natin yung slope-intercept form by the equation, it means that my y is equals to 2x. So our m, which is the slope, is equals to 2. If the slope is positive, the line is inclined to the right. If the slope is negative, so kung negative 2x man to, ang right line natin inclined to the left. So that's how we analyze the equation of the line. So meron tayong ganito, i-drawing natin to. Okay, para makuha natin yung exact na itsura nung line, we can also assume values. So again, if I have x2x minus y is equals to 0 or y is equals to 2x, so if we're going to do or write a table for that, x versus y, so 2 points, connecting 2 points can create a line. So if I'm going to assume value of, let's say, x, if x is 0, substitute x, so 2 times 0, y is also 0. If x is 1, y is equals to 2. So having 2 points, connecting 2 points in the Cartesian coordinate system will produce line. So kung meron man akong, for example, na ganyang line, so following this table, so 0, 0 is that origin. If I have x is equals to 1, y is equals to 2. So we have 1, 2. So ito yung line na yan, point na yan. So if I'm going to draw that line, connecting the 2 points, moving it a straight line, so hindi lang siya straight, no? So this is the equation of the line. So that is our 2x minus y is equals to 0. So dyan daw dadaan ang vertex or dyan daw yung vertex ng mga parabola o parabolas. Okay? So to make the figure clear, so we have a figure. Okay? Okay, so ito na siya. Para mas malinaw, tapalan ko na lang to. Okay, so let's say this is my x is equals to 1 and this is my y is equals to 2. Halimbawa, ito yan. So, ibig sabihin, so this is the equation of my line. So, this is my 2x minus y is equals to 0. Oops. Gawin natin. And so maraming parabola, no, na pwedeng nandito. Pwedeng may parabola rin dyan. Meron din dito. It can be happy face or sad face. Ibig sabihin yan na ang vertex lahat nila ay tatama doon sa equation ng line or sa line itself. So, ayan yung hahanapin ngayon natin. So, the question is, ano ngayon yung magiging o gagamitin natin equation of the parabola? Since the vertex is given, so ano daw yung vertex? We have equation of the line. So, if we're going to recall, sulat na natin, since the line or axis of symmetry, ito yung axis of symmetry, it must be vertical to y-axis, axis of symmetry. Sensya na sa drawing ko ha. So, parallel siya sa y-axis. So, ang palatandaan ko kasi kung paano yung buka niya. So, buka niya ay horizontal. It means x. Doon yung quadratic niya. So, if I'm going to write the standard form of the parabola, where the axis is parallel to y-axis or axis of symmetry is parallel to y-axis, means ang quadratic niya ay nasa x. Kaya we have x minus h squared is equals to, actually plus or minus yun, no? 4a times y minus k. So, ano yung hk? Hk is our vertex. Ano yung 4a? 4a is the length of the lattice rectum. So, fixed constant actually is 4a. So, we have two arbitrary constant which is h and k. So, we're going to derive it twice. No? So, based doon sa pagkuha ng differential equation. But, we have to know first, ano si h at saka si k. So, since our equation of the line where the vertex plots on that line, so, yung vertex daw kasi dumaan dito sa equation ng line. So, we can choose, or replace x as the h and y as the k. Pwede natin gawin ganito. So, ito yung gagamitin ngayon nating equation. Pwedeng si h palitan natin ng k or si k palitan ng h. If I'm going to solve for h in terms of k, h is equals to k over 2. Or, if we're going to solve for k in terms of h, k is equals to 2h. So, ito yung gagamitin ngayon natin equation. So, let's say, ang susolve natin ay si h. Ito, mamimili na lang tayo dito ha. X, let's say, retain natin si h. So, kunin ko na lang muna yung 4a, regardless kung positive or negative, since it's just constant. Na magiging 0 rin mamaya yung pag-derive. Y minus yung k papalitan ko ng h. Kaya 2h. Or, pwedeng si k naman ang matitira natin, no? X minus o si h papalitan ko ng k. Kasi ang ititira natin si k. 4a y minus k. So, kahit alin dyan ang gamitin ninyo, we're going to arrive at the same answer. So, ito na lang gamitin natin. This one. Y. Kasi, wala nang fraction. So, mas madali natin isolve yan. Okay, so solving for the differential equation of the parabola, Test ko na lang. Ayan. So we have x minus h squared is equals to 4a y minus 2h. So again, we have two constant, a and h. We're going to derive the equation twice or reaching until we reach the second derivative. So, pasensyaan nyo na yung background ko, no? Maganda kasi bumabagyo ngayon. So, just focus on what I'm discussing. Huwag kayo madidistract, ha? Okay, so first derivative, so bring down 2 x minus h times the derivative of x with respect sa x, na parang ito din-derive natin. D over dx. Okay, so bring down the exponent, copy the base, times the derivative of the base, where x is 1, minus derivative ng a, since it is constant, 0, equals to 4a is a constant. Tapos, i-derive ko itong pinaka-quantity na to. So, yung 2h, 0 na. So, si y prime, minus 0. Okay, so, sisimplify ko muna or ayusin ko muna yung first derivative. So, this is just 1. Bali, wala na to. So, we have 2x minus h is equals to 4ay prime kasi 0 naman siya. Okay, tapos reduce pa natin kasi meron siyang common na GCF of 2. If I'm going to divide both sides by 2, we have x minus h equals to ay prime. So, let this be our equation number 1. Or pwede natin gawing equation number 2. Ito yung equation number 1. Baka magamit natin mamaya eh. Okay, so this is the first derivative. Let's go first derivative. Okay, getting the second derivative, x minus h, x minus h is equals to 2ay prime. Kunin ko yung second derivative niya, d over dx again. So, derivative of x is 1, h is 0, 2a is constant, derivative of y prime is y double prime. Okay, so this is our second derivative, or y prime, y double prime is equals to 1 over 2a. So this is our equation 3 for the second derivative. Okay, now, we're going to substitute different equations or equate the different equations para matanggal na yung mga arbitrary constants. So, if I'm going to use equation 3 sa 2, okay, so si 2a pala yung common nila, no? So, tingnan na lang natin. Since I have a 2a, I have 2a also. Dapat si 2a pala. So, pwede na natin palitan. So, you equating or substitute. Palabasin ko muna yung 2a, ha? Dapat pala to 2a is equals to 1 over y double prime. So, substitute equation 3 in 2. So, equation number 2, we have x minus h is equals to yung 2a, papalitan na natin ng 1 over y double prime times y prime, or equals to y prime over y double prime. Okay, so ito yung magiging equation number 4. Okay, so if this is equation number 4, we can Substitute equation 4 to equation number 1. So substitute equation 4 in 1. So let's try substituting 4 in 1. So we have x minus h squared. So ito si x minus h. Indo yung gagawin. So x minus h squared. So papalitan ko na siya ng y prime over y double prime na naka-squared equals, okay, yung 4a, pwede na ba natin palitan si 4a? Tapos meron pa rin siyang h, 2h. So saan natin pwedeng kunin si 4a at saka si 2h. So isip ngayon tayo sa mga equations na given. Okay, so yung 4a, this 4a, isip tayo ha. Ano pwede kong ipalit kay 4a at saka kay h para matanggal na natin yan. So pwede natin sigurong kunin yung 4a dito sa equation 3 din. Sa equation 3, if I'm going to multiply this one para maging 4a siya, multiply natin everything by 2. So we have 4a is equals to 2 over y double prime. So pwede na natin ipalit yung value ni 4a. Tandaan na tinatanggal natin yung arbitrary constant. Para sa differential equation na matitira, wala nang arbitrary constant. Okay, so yung 4a, ayun yung 4a. Ito na yung magiging value ng 4a, which is 2 over y double prime. Okay, times. So meron akong y. Okay, next is negative 2h. Okay, either yung 2h palitan or si h lang. Saan natin pwedeng kunin yung h lang. Okay, so dito, pwede natin isolve si h. Okay, pero pag check natin dito si h, okay, magkakaroon pa rin siya ng 2a. Papalitan pa rin natin yung 2a. Okay, so dito tayo mag-focus ha. So if I have x minus h is equals to 2ay prime, yung 2h na, papalitan natin ng buo. So I'm going to multiply everything. Kunin muna natin si h. Kunin natin si h. H is equals to x minus 2ay prime. Tapos kunin ko na ng 2h. Multiply natin ng 2. 2h is equals to 2 times x minus 2ay prime. So medyo shortcut ko na para mabilis natin isolve. Huwag natin isa-isahin na tatagal. Kaya medyo dapat gumagana na agad ang isip ninyo. Okay, so if I'm going to expand this, 2h is equals to 2x minus 4ay prime. So yung 4a ulit na to, pwede ko ulit palitan nito. So 2h is equals to 2x. So tinatanggal na natin kasi lahat ng constant Minus yung 4a is 2 over y double prime times y prime. Okay, so ayun yung magiging value ni 2h. So if we're going to continue equation 1, substitute 4 in 1, so we have y minus, okay, yung 2h na natin, okay, siya na yung 2x. Bakit pala ito ganito? 2x minus, okay, we have 2 over y double prime times y prime. And so wala nang arbitrary constant. So, sisimplify na lang natin siya. So, simplifying this, so we have y prime na naka-squared over y double prime na naka-squared. We have 2 over y double prime. So, ito, sisimplify natin. Simulan natin sa loob ulit. So, we have y minus 2x minus, so we have 2y prime over y double prime. Okay, next, get the LCD. We have 2 over y double prime, y minus, okay, LCD nito is y double prime. So, I have 2x y double prime minus 2y prime. Okay, tapos LCD ulit nito. So, we have 2 y double prime. So, we have y double prime cross multiply. So, y times y double prime minus 2xy double prime minus 2y prime. Tanggalin natin sa pagka-parenthesis. Okay, so we have 2y double prime. Pwede na lang natin tira na lang yung parenthesis, no? We have y double prime minus 2xy double prime plus na to ha, kasi negative times negative. 2y prime over y double prime. So, this is y prime squared over y double prime squared. Okay, so next, we can multiply numerator to numerator and denominator by the denominator. So, we have y double prime squared. So, if the left member has a y double prime squared, kung ano meron sa kaliwa na meron sa kanan, so pwede na nating tanggalin. Okay, so meron na lang tayong y prime squared. So pwede na natin i-distribute to 2y double prime minus 4xy double prime plus 2y prime. Sorry, 4 pala to. Na-excite ako. This is 4. Sorry doon. So, aayusin na lang natin. Palaki. Okay? Aayusin na lang natin. Pasok natin sa loob to. Okay, ganito magiging usapan natin ha. Lahat ng constant, ilalagay natin sa right side. Kung meron man. Kung wala, gagawin natin 0. So, like this. No? So, 2y double prime minus 4xy double prime plus 4y prime, lipat to sa kabila, minus y prime squared equals to 0. So, this is our final answer. So, try solving the second. No, ito, try nyo isolve to. Dapat mag-a-arrive tayo ng same answer. Okay? So, medyo, kung may alam kayong ibang process na madaling substitution, well and good. So, basta tatandaan lang, pag tinignan na yung mga equations na nabuo, bubuo na agad sa isip ninyo, paano ko tatanggalin yung mga arbitrary constant. So, always practice solving para bumilis ang process ng utak ninyo sa pag tinitingnan pa lang ninyo yung problem, no, kaya nyo nang sagutan at alam nyo yung gagawin ninyo. Okay, proceed tayo sa example number 2. example number 2, find the differential equation of all ellipses centered at the origin. So, ano ba itsura ng ellipse? So, ang ellipse ay itlog. Itsurang itlog, no? Pwedeng itlog na patayo or itlog na pahiga. Okay, so ano ibig sabihin? If we're going to draw the ellipse, ito yung itsura ng ellipse. Lakihan lang natin. Nagkaroon ng, wait lang, burahin natin yung tutok. Hindi natin mabura. Okay. So, yung ellipse, meron din tayong tinatawag na pinaka-major axis. Okay, yung X pertaining kay A. Tapos, yung minor naman kay B. So, if we're going to recall the ellipse, ito kasi yung major axis. So, this is equivalent to 2A. So, ito naman yung minor axis. Bakit? Natin green. Ito naman yung ibig sabihin B and B makes it 2B. Ito naman 2A, kaya naging 2A. Semi-major axis is A and A, 2A. So, pag ganito naman yung ellipse ninyo, take note, sa origin dapat. Okay, ito naman yung major mo natin na nasa Y. Tapos, ito naman yung minor na nasa X. So, baliktad. Okay? So, pag kukunin natin ang standard equation of ellipse, dito sa ganito itsura, the standard equation of the ellipse is x squared, ay nandoon yung a squared, plus y squared, nandoon yung b squared. Pag ganito naman yung itsura ng ellipse, okay, yung a squared, nandoon kay y. Yung numerator yung nagbabago. Ayan. So, yung denominator hindi nagbabago, yung numerator nagbabago. So, dapat memorize ninyo rin yan. Okay. So, again, we have two constants, arbitrary constants, which is A and B. So, we're going to derive again or get the second derivative of the equation. So, pwede kayo ulit mamili. Pwedeng yung patayo or pahiga. As long it says in the problem that the ellipses are centered at the origin. So, kung pahiga yan, pwedeng may circle pa dyan, may circle pa doon, etc. etc. Same with this one. Pwede dyan may ellipse pa dyan. Elliptical pala, not circular. Okay, so ito na lang gamitin natin. Okay, so if I'm going to rewrite the equation, hiwalay ko lang yung constant kasi constant si A and B. So we can write 1 over A squared times X squared plus 1 over B squared times Y squared. So equal lang yan. So pag dinerive kasi natin yan, mas madali. So, yung derivative nito, if I'm going to get the first derivative of the equation with respect sa x, so, dapat natutulog na rin ako, no? Pero, masarap matulog. Pero, naisip ko, kailangan magbigay gustong example sa inyo na para tuloy-tuloy yung paggawa ninyo ng assignments at saka pag-aaral ninyo. So, getting the derivative of the first term, labas si constant, which is 1 over a squared times derivative of x squared is 2x. Okay, plus, second term, bring out the constant, derivative ng y squared is 2y, and derivative of the base ng y is y prime. And the derivative of 1 is 0. So, kung i-arrange natin dito, as we notice, merong 2, may 2. So, we're going to get or divide the whole equations by 1/2 or multiply by 1/2. So, makakancel na si 2. This will become still 0. So, meron pa rin tayong x na lang. At dito naman, y prime is equals to 0. Okay. Sunod, so yan yung pwede natin gawing equation 2. For the first derivative. Kasi ito yung magiging equation 1. Baka magamit natin mamaya. Okay, so next. Getting the derivative of equation 1, equation number 2 for getting the second derivative. So, dito natin yan sa equation number 2. Again, ang constant ay 1 over a squared. Derivative of x with respect sa x is just 1. Plus, we have 1 over b squared. So, product of y and y prime. So, product rule tayo. According sa product rule, y times the derivative of y prime is y double prime. Yan yung second derivative. Plus, copy y prime, the second function, times the derivative of the first function y, we have y prime. So, mas lalong lumalakas ang ulan. Parang nag-aaral din ng calculus equals to 0. So, simplifying this term, our equation, we have 1 over a squared plus 1 over b squared times y double prime plus y prime quantity squared equals to 0. So, this is our equation number 3. This is our second derivative. Okay, so now, tingnan ulit natin ha. Yung first derivative and second derivative or equation 2 and 3, pwede na nating i-eliminate yung first term. Okay, tingin sa first term, if this is 1 over a squared and this is 1 over a squared, so kung kakanceling ko man to, may x to, ito wala. So, we need to multiply x in equation 3. But not x. Para pag inad natin dalawa, makancel na. So, multiply negative. Multiply negative x in equation 3. Then, para makancel, add equation 2. Okay, so yung equation 2, wala tayong gagawin. Sulat lang natin ulit. May tumahol pang aso. Nakikicalculus din. So, 1 over b squared is equal, b squared y prime equals to 0. So, to be added by a negative x for the whole equation 3. So, we have negative 1 over a squared. May x na. Yung plus, magiging minus na ha. 1 over b squared. Lagyan ko na rin yung x. For the quantity of y double prime. Ako, yan ang bagyo. Oops. Squared equals to 0. So, pag inad ngayon natin to, cancel si first term, meron lang ang second term. So, we have 1 over b squared y double prime minus 1 over b squared x times y double prime plus y prime quantity squared equals to 0. kung titingnan natin itong equation number, basta equation number 4 na to, ay ano na lang ang i-eliminate natin? Yung b squared na lang. Ang kailangan tanggalin. So, mawawala na ng arbitrary constant or constant. So, para mawala yan, since the equation are equated or is equated to 0, so, multiply natin the whole equation by b squared. So, multiply b squared in equation 4. So, pag multiply ko ito ng b squared, multiply ko ito ng b squared, so, cancel na si b squared. Meron na lang ako y prime, minus, wala na si b squared, x na lang, times y double prime, plus y prime quantity squared, equals to 0. So, aayusin na lang natin to, pero okay na rin itong naka-factor. Yung constant, lalagay sa kanan. Kung wala, 0. So, this is now our final answer. Okay, so, ganun lang kadali. So, try nyo rin yung second form, kung ang itlog ay patayo, sagutan. So, dapat same answer din ang kalalabasan, ha? Try this. Ayan. So, ganyan dapat mangyayari. So, that's it for our first part ng more examples or solving your part of your assignments doon sa family of curves. So, next topic naman natin, continuation of this, may same video, yung separation or separating variables. So, hindi pa ako nagbibigay ng assignment doon. Sabi ko kanina, ibibigay ko yung assignment ninyo, I think assignment number 3 ba or 4 on Friday. Pero sasagutan na natin yung dalawa doon na napili ko. For the second part of our topic or examples, second batch na to, no? So, this is under separation of variables. So, solving some of the problems on your assignment. Ito yan, yung napili natin. So, first, find the general solution of each differential equation. Number 1, if I have an equation where on the left side is your dx and on your right side is dy, so we need to separate the variables of x be on your left and all the variables related to y be on the side of dy. So, paano ngayon natin solve? Kailangan muna natin tingnan yung sa left side. So, we need to remove y. Mailipat to dapat sa kanan, no? Tapos, yung mga x naman dito sa kanan, kailangan mailipat natin sa kaliwa. So, if I'm going to do factoring, since we have x and x as a common factor, so dito ang labanan factoring. Kaya yung mga skills ninyo sa factoring ulit, ilalabas ninyo. So, getting a common factor of x. Lalabas ko. So, we have y plus 1 and dx. Okay, on the other side, okay, x squared, y squared. So, ano yung magiging common factors? So, si dy kasi pwede natin i-distribute pa isa-isa na term. Pero hindi ganun ang gagawin ngayon natin. Isa ano yung pinakagagawin natin ngayon is to get the factor of the whole equation. So, paano ngayon natin kukunin yung factoring? Eh, may error lang pala, no? So, this positive, wala to. So, ulitin ko. Sorry for this. Wala tong wala to. Wala yan. So, pwede na natin itong part na to, no? Pwede natin paghiwalayin kasing x squared y squared plus x squared. Parang ganito yan. Or pwede ko nang paghiwalayin yung first part. Hindi tayo malito. Sorry. Yan. Yan muna i-grupo natin. So, ang common factor niya ay x squared. So, matitira ka rito y squared plus 1. So, plus, sa kabila naman, pwede ko nang lagyan ng grouping symbol. Tapos may common factoring ulit, common factor ulit dito. Ang tawag natin sa practice natin, factoring by grouping. So, if we're going to check or inspect the first term and the second term, may common factor, which is y squared plus 1. Okay, so matitira sa first term ay si x squared. Matitira sa second term kasi nilabas ko na ay 1. So, ayan yung factoring natin. Okay, by this factoring, pwede na nating ma-separate yung variables. So, as we notice, doon sa first part or left member, hindi natin kailangan si y plus 1. So, para matanggal si y plus 1, we need to divide it y plus 1. So, sa right member naman, kasi dy to, we don't need x squared plus 1. So, we need to divide it x squared plus 1. So, ganun yung paghihiwalay natin ng variables. So, the LCD, parang ito yung LCD niya, no? Multiplying or LCM to the first or left member. So, mga-cancel si y plus 1 kasi meron y plus 1. So, meron x dx na matitira at x squared plus 1. Okay, so, nakakasunod equals multiplying the LCM or LCD to the right member. So, y plus squared, x squared plus 1. So, meron akong x squared plus 1. So, parang na-cancel to. So, may matitirang y squared plus 1 dy over y plus 1. So, ayan. Separate na natin, no? Inspection, the left member, lahat puro x because of the dx. Sa right, lahat ng y kasi dy. So, yung bagyo, lalong lumalakas, siguro, nagre-resect din. Gusto makijoin sa atin sa calculus. Okay, once we have separated all the variables with their own respective variables set or dx and dy, we can now get the integral of each member. So, pwede na natin i-integrate. Gawin ko lang yung iba. Okay, dito sa first part, okay, so unang tingin pa lang, no, madali na. Quotient rule, importante matanggal ang numerator. So, para matanggal to, we're going to let u force yung denominator. Pag dinerive natin si u, kailangan may x, kaya 2x dx. Okay, so that's good. Kasi mangyayari dito, sa left member, x, replacing dx with this equation. So, we have du over 2x. So, yung kailangan matanggal. Divided by x squared plus 1 is already our u. So, pag sinimplify natin to 1/2 integral of du over u na lang. So, may integrate na natin. Pero dito sa second part, which is the right member, so hindi natin po pwedeng i-apply yung ginawa natin sa left member. Okay? Kasi hindi naman natin makakancel yung numerator na y squared plus 1. So again, kung sinasabi sa inyo ito, i-remind ko ulit. Pag nakakita ng fraction, always check if it is proper or improper. Obviously, this fraction is improper because the degree of the denominator is less than, no? Mas maliit kesa sa numerator. So, parang sinabi mo 4 over 3. So, it is improper. Ano ginagawa pag improper? We need to divide. Okay, so if you're going to divide, kailangan ipakita yung solution sa exam at saka sa quiz, hindi pwedeng magic. So, pwedeng gumamit ng long division. So, if you're going to apply long division process, y plus 1, okay, y squared plus 1. Divide natin. Y squared divided by y is y. Y times y is y squared. Y times 1 is y. Okay, next, subtract, change the sign, and add. So, cancel na si y squared. 1 minus y. So, hindi tayo stop kasi yung degree ng dividend sa divisor ay still the same. Still the same. So, tuloy pa rin yun. Improper pa rin yun. So, let's proceed sa y pa rin. Y divided by y, which is negative yung isa, is negative 1. Net negative y. Nauna lang si 1 pero dapat ito sa nauna. Okay, negative y divided by y is negative 1. Negative 1 times positive y is negative y. Negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1. Again, subtract, change the sign, cancel na to, and add. So, 1 plus 1, yung matitira 2. So, the remainder will be the fraction part of the answer. So, plus, ito-plus natin yan. We have 2 over the divisor of y plus 1. So, ito yung magiging bago nating problem. So, we're going to replace the second part or left or right member into the new form. So, magiging y minus 1 plus 2 over y plus 1 dy. Okay? So, next, we can separate it individually, y dy minus dy plus integral of 2 dy over y plus 1. So, wala nang problema dito. Simpleng integral na lang to. First, second, same with this 1. Okay? So, iduduktong ko lang yung kanina equals 1/2 integral of du over u. Ito, ang iniletso ko dito is y du is dy. Same with this 1. Ito rin, ang iniletso ko naman, yung y plus 1, ang du ko ay dy. Okay, so, we have integral of yu du minus integral of du plus, labas ko si 2, dy is du, y plus 1 is u. Okay, so ayan yung pinaka-equation ngayon natin. So, we have 1/2 integral of du over u is ln of absolute value of u, where u is, ito natin, x squared plus 1 equals integral of u du is u squared over 2, where u is y, kaya y squared over 2 minus integral of du is u, where u is y, plus 2 du over u is ln again, absolute value of u, but this time our u is y plus 1, plus the constant c. Okay, so para malinis tingnan, we have to remove all the denominators, which is 2, which are 2, no? So we have to multiply everything by 2. So we have ln, so kukunin ko na lang yung positive ng absolute value, ha? Y squared minus 2y plus 4 ln of y plus 1, ito plus 2c. Yung plus 2c can be written also as c. Palakas ng palakas yung ulan. Okay, tuloy na natin. Wala nang makakapigil. The show must go on. So, yung y squared, arranging natin yung sa usapan natin, laging ilalagay sa huli. So, we have y squared minus 2y plus yung 4. Pwede ko na palang ilagay sa taas. And, ito lilipat ko sa kabila, minus ln x squared plus 1 equals to c. Ay, baka nagtaka kayo, sir, bakit nung nilipat ko si c, positive pa rin? So, regardless, positive or negative, it doesn't matter. C is c. Okay, tapos ito, we're going to apply the law of logarithm for these two. So, we have y squared minus 2y. Subtraction means division. We have ln plus of y plus 1 raised to 4 over x squared plus 1 equals to c. So this is our general equation of parabola. For example number 2, ito na lang, huling sasagutan natin para makatulog na rin tayo. Okay, again, find the general equation and differential equation of the given. So, dito, meron tayong value na isa-substitute after na makuha natin yung differential equation. So, magkakaroon tayo ng specific value. Okay, so ito muna evaluate natin. Evaluating this problem, paano natin ulit mapaghihiwalay yung x sa x, y sa y. So, applying the root of the exponent, yung addition, multiplication yan, no? In its form, we have e raised to x times e raised to y. So, pinaghiwalay natin ulit yung exponent times dx minus, so yung second part, second term, walang problema kasi y lang naman siya for dy. Okay, so para matanggal natin si e raised to y, we need to divide everything by e raised to y. So, yun yung mga, nakakita kayo ng e, nakakatakot na yan. So, sabi ko sa inyo, dito sa differential equation, pag may e, swerte nyo na. Kasi madali ang problem na yan. Okay, so we have e raised to x dx. Wala na yung e raised to y, no? Minus e raised to negative 2y dy over e raised to y. And this is still 0. Negative 2y, pwedeng ibaba, or si e raised to y, pwedeng itaas. So, itaas na lang natin para gagamit na lang tayo mamaya ng parang power rule o yung integral ng e raised to exponential rule. So, we have e raised to x dx. Pag inakit natin to, e raised to negative 2y times e raised to negative y dy. So, 0. So, again, magkahiwalay naman, pagsasamahin ulit, i-add. So, e raised to negative 3y naman. So, gulo, no? Yung magkasama, pinaghiwalay, yung maghiwalay, pinagsama. So, tayo lang may gano'n, no? Sa engineering lang. Next, we're going to integrate. Okay, integrate natin ngayon both terms. So, integrating both terms, that u on the first term equals to x. So, du is equals to dx. Second term, that u equals to negative 3y. Du is equals to negative 3 dy. And so, we have integral of e raised to u du minus integral of e raised to u dy is negative du over 3 equals to 0. So, we have integral of e raised to u du Negative, negative is positive. Labas ko na si 1/3 of e raised to u du is equals to 0. So, integral of e raised to u is still e raised to u, where u on the first term is x. So, e raised to x pa rin siya. Plus 1/3 integral of e raised to u, e raised to u, but in this term, our u is negative 3y equals to c. Plus kasi ito equals to c na siya. So, next, according to the condition, when if y is 0, when x is equals to 0. So we're going to substitute for the value of x and y to solve for the value constant of the constant. So e raised to x, which is 0, is 1/3. E raised to negative 3 times 0 is equals to c. And number or variable raised to 0 is 1, 1 plus, so this is 1 is 1/3 equals to c. Or c is equals to 4 over 3. So if c is equals to 4 over 3, substitute c from the original equation. So e raised to x plus 1/3, e raised to negative 3y equals to c, where c is 4 over 3. So we can write this equation, or if I'm going to multiply by the LCD, we have 3e raised to x plus, wala na yun, no? E raised to negative 3y is equals to 4. So that is our final answer. Okay, so may tanong? Okay, kung may tanong, again, pwede mag-message sa akin, PM sa Messenger, or leave the message here in YouTube. So again, di ko na pahabain to, no? Kasi lumalakas ng ulan, hindi na tayo siguro nagkakaintindihan. Okay, be safe, always pray, and don't forget to subscribe. Sa mga hindi pa nakaka-subscribe, pakisabi na rin sa inyong mga kamag-anak, pinsan, kaibigan, help me to reach 1,000 subscriber. Who knows, hindi natin alam. Tulungan nyo na lang din ako. And always continue studying. So, God bless us, and maulang umaga sa inyong lahat. Bye!